Hello everyone, today I'd like to talk to you about my trip to Rome this March. So I've been to Rome, it was my first time, it's a beautiful city, I'm not going to talk about that, I lied. What I really want to talk about is my visit to the perfume store, the Profumum Roma perfume store. As you can probably tell, I bought something which I will show you momentarily. The store itself is quite beautiful. It's minimalistic. I think it's very much in tone with the whole presentation of the brand. It's very clinical. It's very, as I said, minimalistic. There's nothing there except for the fragrances. I think I have some pictures. I will put them on the video. It's exactly like I would have expected it to be. The lady there was very nice. However, I don't speak Italian, and it was a bit difficult, but I think we managed to pull through. So I did buy something from Profumum Roma, but not before first smelling some things that I found interesting, but not interesting enough to buy. So you already know from the title of the video what I bought, so I'm not gonna pretend that like you don't know. However, what I have here, this is the way they give you the samples, right? So you have here the actual blotters that you smelled, and they put them into these tight envelopes, maybe, I don't know what to call them. And inside you will have the bottle, the blotter that and it still smells over a month ago. It's over a month and a half ago. So I guess this method works to some degree at least. So this is Victrix, which is, I don't know, nothing to write home about. So I'm not gonna okay, so let's open them all. What the hell Victrix, it's something, it's quite spicy and woody. I asked for them particularly because I didn't smell all of their fragrances. That would have been quite a lot. Can you see my cat? There you go. It stayed nice and asleep up until now, but not anymore. Now we have Fiore d'Ambra, which again, amber fragrance. Nothing very interesting there. There are two fragrances that I really liked, so I am looking for them. This is not what the video is all about. This is one of them. This is Suavissima, and this is it's a powdery iris fragrance that's done just so well. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's just an iris fragrance. I've smelled tons of those. However, there's a beauty to it, right? So it's a fragrance I wouldn't mind having. However, I would never spend the absurd amount of money that this brand asks for their products. Never. Which I know, right? Here I am giving you the idea of something I purchased. Then there's I think this one is Veta. Her handwriting isn't Veta or Vena, I don't know, let me see. Can't even find it. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, this one has turned into something interesting. It's green spicy. So they do have quite a large, scale plethora of fragrances to choose from, and they were, each and every one, they were very nicely done, but they were this is why I'm not entirely enthusiastic about them, because there's nothing there. I couldn't tell you what's written here. Maybe you can make it out. I couldn't. It's a nice sort of gourmand smell. It's definitely not to my liking. And then there's Vir, right? This one I wore on the skin because I just loved it. Vir is very interesting. It's a very dark oud fragrance that's smoky, and it's quite similar to the way Francis Kurkdjian does its oud, a very dry, a very it has that familiar bite that oud has. It might be a bit too much. However, this one, I won't lie, Vir is a fragrance you might hear more about from me in the future. I really like this one. And the last one has to be, I don't know. Oh, of course, the thing I purchased. I don't know why they packed this. This is, of course, Acqua di Sale, the fragrance that I purchased because I went there to actually purchase Acqua di Sale. It's a fragrance that I've known for a lot of time. This is the bill for the purchase. This set me back 180 euros. That's quite a lot. That's quite steep. And we will, I guess, get into this. We will get into this right now. So I'm sure most of you will be familiar with Acqua di Sale. By now, this is definitely not a new fragrance. It's been around for quite some time. I think it's from the 90s. It's what put Profumum Roma on the map of fragrances, just because of the success of this fragrance alone. Because, as I said, smelling their fragrances, there's not much going on there. Honestly, or this is just my opinion. I don't want to bash anyone who thinks that this brand is, the GOAT. To me, it just isn't. But Acqua di Sale is, it's special, right? It's special for a reason, and it's so well known, and I think it's quite a polarizing scent. I think a lot of people bash it, and for good reason. I will be doing some of that today as well. However, I will preface all of this with the fact that, here, look, I bought it. I know it's expensive. I don't recommend this. I don't recommend that you go out and buy it. I will give you my full, honest opinion on this, while being aware that I did purchase it, and you have to be aware that it's a fragrance that I love. I thoroughly tested it before. I'm on my second decant of Acqua di Sale, and I just love it. I couldn't be without it, with its flaws. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to give you this quote from Luca Turin and Tania Sanchez from this. I think all of you know this book already. It's Perfumes, the A to Z guide. So for Acqua di Sale, Luca Turin says that Profumum, the brand, or as they spell it, in imitation of Bulgari, and this is so true. Look, they're using the V's there instead of U's. I know what it means, before you comment. Is the reference, so Profumum is the reference pretentious niche house for those who are sure of nothing except that they do not want to wear fragrances their mother-in-law have heard of. So you may agree or not with Luca Turin. What I guess we can agree to the fact that he's so funny in his short reviews. But on this regard, I think I agree wholeheartedly. I'm sorry, I smelled many of their fragrances. I smelled many more than these because I just told the lady that I'm not interested in the others that I smell, so don't even bother packing them, because there's nothing there, guys. I'm sorry, this is my honest opinion. I'm not sorry about this, but there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there, with the exception of the thing that I bought, Vir, that I actually liked, not enough to buy, and Suavissima, which is something I see myself wearing. But again, nothing there. And he says some other things. The website has a the website has a background track of bad lounge jazz and is full of pointless flash stuff that makes it that takes ages to load. The text scale new heights, even in Italian, never mind in translation, of remedial poetasterdom. I don't know that term. Acqua di Sale is a gloss of Diptyque's Virgilio that substitutes cheap shampoo for the original's vetiver and misses the point by miles. And this is a Luca Turian, not Tanya Sanchez review. So it's funny, but it has a lot of truth to it, I find. This, however, does not mean that the fragrance is any less beautiful, at least to the people such as myself who appreciate it. So my before we get into the packaging, I have to say that this is a very simple fragrance. To most who have never smelled this fragrance, when you will smell it for the first time, again, nothing there. It's just synthetic. It feels like a synthetic mess. It's some undecisive white florals, undecided white florals. It's very soapy. It's very much, it smells like laundry detergent and shampoo, and very much the body wash shower gel. There's nothing there that you might like at a first glance. However, I did wear this last year. I think it was my first time wearing it. I wore it in Venice. I bought the decant with me. I brought it with me, and it's just so amazing. So when you wear this fragrance, you are just enveloped in a familiar scent of the sea, and it just goes so well with the way Venice smells. And the way, because now my other trip to Italy, of course, I got my other decant of Acqua di Sale, and it's just, it reminds me of Italy so much. It's Mediterranean. It has that myrtle smell. Oh, but I'm getting ahead of myself. That myrtle, which is what, you know, myrtle is, it is an undecisive white flowerish smell. However, it's also green, and apart from that, it's just of the sea, right? It's just so beautiful. So let's open this up. Oh God, I'm gonna bash this so hard. Because I talked earlier about the presentation of earlier today, I filmed Blanche Bête by Le Liquide Imaginaire, and just contrast the way that presentation looks like with this one. It's just so cheap and uninspired, and the fact that I don't know what I have nothing against it, but just the colors on the Italian flag just clash so much with the rest of the oh God. So this is what the content, this is what it looks like. I'm sure all of you are familiar with this. Okay, there you go. Let's open this up. The packaging is so cheap. It's just so, it's not flimsy or anything. The fragrance is well protected, but it's just, I don't know, it feels so cheap. Look at this, the quality of the paper is not, it's not much, right? It's just so, it's nothing, there's nothing there. The bottle is beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. I like this clinical, almost pharmaceutical way of designing perfume bottles. I like this very, very much, and it's very much in tone with the minimalistic feel of the fragrance. This is a screw-on, right? So, oh god, I'm gonna have to, I guess I'm gonna have to pause the video and work this out in order to put in the atomizer, or maybe I'll be able to do it, I don't know. But let's talk about the rest of the box, right? So inside you have this very questionable roll-on applicator, I guess, and I'm not sure you can tell from the video, but the quality of this is just non-existent. It's just so cheap. I'm almost afraid it might break because it's very thin glass. It might break at any given time if I'm not careful, and I guess roll-ons work. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I guess it works for applying fragrance. Also, Acqua di Sale is such a enormously potent fragrance, well, to me at least, that I think you don't need to spray it, and applying it on the skin, my cat's digging its claws in me, I guess it works, but just the quality is so lackluster here. It's just, it's non-existent, and this is an expensive fragrance, and they give you this. They give you this, which is I don't know what you call it in English. It's, I guess it's an it's not an it's a dropper, right? This is a dropper. You have to insert it in the fragrance bottle, right? Fill it up, and then fill this one up using this. This is cheap plastic things that you can find in pharmacies everywhere. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to compare the presentation to Guerlain because it would be just a shame. It's just because Guerlain, when they had similar pricing, similar price range for the exclusives, you got the whole deal, right? I mean, they would give you, I don't have the box with me, they would give you a full B bottle and a device that would help. Oh, let me just show you. I can pause the video at any time. So for your typical Guerlain exclusive, such as La Parisienne, you would get this stunning, you know what I'm talking about. This is a reference bottle. This is the iconic B bottle. With, of course, this has no atomizer. They would give you this type of bottle, which is 30 milliliters, and it's a full Guerlain bottle. It's very, you know, it's the quality that you expect from paying almost, I think these were 200 and something euros, right? And they would give you this for you to pour your fragrance, right? I guess to me it makes sense. I use this. I have 3 of them, and I use them when making decants, right? So the quality and the difference there is just laughable. It's just laughable. This is metallic, right? It's not metallic, it's plastic that's covered in metal. This is good quality, right? It's nothing special, it's nothing out there, but it's just couldn't possibly compare with this flimsy thing, right? So enough of the negativity. Let's just work on the fragrance. But you know, I had to say these things. I had to say, and remember, I knew what I was getting myself into because the lady there was very kind. She showed me everything there was to know about this. So this wasn't as like a surprise because I purchased this, and when I got home I opened the package and it was this. No, I knew what I was getting myself into. However, my love for this fragrance made me just ignore these negative aspects and just go ahead and pay the full price sum. Okay, this is very easy to pull out. Okay, let me just pour the excess, put the excess, because this is expensive, right? Put the excess on this blotter here. Oh God, oh God, oh God. So, and now we've constructed the bottle ourselves. Okay. Okay, and everything's fine. Everything works. I think there's nothing else to do about this. So I'll just put these back. Okay, so as I said, the bottle is, I wouldn't call it stunning. Oh God, this is such a cheap plastic cap. This is a cheap plastic cap. Oh no. I wouldn't call this bottle stunning, but it is beautiful in its own right. When I was in the store, she showed me the current special edition bottle. Sometimes they they did have other special edition bottles along the years, because as I said, this is their most famous scent. This the scent that put the house on the map. Yes, and the version of the bottle that they showed me, I will try to find a picture of it somewhere, was just so ugly that I politely declined and said I do like this one better, because I think the usual design of the bottle was miles better looking than the special edition bottle that they were I don't know, selling there. It was just so ugly. The color scheme was so off. It looked so childish, and well, nothing I would ever want to add to my collection. So back to the scent of Acqua di Sale. Oh God, it's just like, so something that you should know about Acqua di Sale, it smells very pungent and alcoholic, but not in a boozy, pleasant way. It's just alcohol for the first few seconds. It's always been like this. I don't know why. I think it's because of the very green thing that myrtle does, that kind of gives this feel to the whole fragrance. But this settles in a few seconds, right? It settles to the way the fragrance is meant to smell, I guess. And it's just so, again, it's minimal, and it's of the sea, and it's salty, and it's so fresh. And it's not only fresh, it's very refreshing, because this fragrance is all about that myrtle, I guess. And I do have, I'm so sorry that I didn't bring the myrtle essence that I have, that I bought in order to see what myrtle actually smells like by itself. And it's very close to the way Acqua di Sale smells, right? It's almost balsamic. It has this almost camphorous, minty, Mediterranean smell, but it's not your typical, it's not mint, right? It's just camphorous, right? awakens the senses. This is why I say it's so fresh, it's so energizing. It's oh, what's that word that I sometimes use to describe this? It's effervescent, right? I know a lot of you people hate this word, but this is very effervescent, right? It's very energizing, it's very tonic. And while walking there and getting, because I always this is of the sea, as I said, so it's that typical sea spray, fresh sea spray, sea breeze, I don't know, and sea breeze doesn't have a very potent smell, you know, and this doesn't come off when you smell it like this. It comes off when you wear this fragrance, because this fragrance, it's a fresh, this is a holy grail for fresh scents, because it lasts such a long time and it projects so well, at least for me. I don't know what it, I think I heard the same opinion from many people, so I'm pretty sure to say that it would be quite the same for most of you guys. However, it's when you wear it that you get the similarity with the actual nature, right? The actual smell of the sea spray, which is just so good. It's not overtly salty, but it, you know, it's the feeling when you swim and a little sea water gets up your nose. This is what you get when you smell this. It's just amazing. So for me, this was a no-brainer. Okay, I don't know what else to say about this fragrance other than it's just so, I just fell in love with the fact that it's just so close to the nature of things from such a synthetic fragrance, if that makes sense, because it doesn't to me. It doesn't to me. It's something that's terribly synthetic, and it smells synthetic at first, but for me it was just love. I love it. I had to have it. However, I will say this. Earlier, I guess a year back, I spoke about this one, which is, I don't know if you guys get this in your country. This is a supermarket brand. It's Tesori d'Oriente, and the fragrance is called, because this is a fragrance, it's not anything else, it's not for the room or anything, it's not a room fragrance. It's thalassotherapy. I guess this is supposed to be a copy of Acqua di Sale. This costs, I guess, €5, 5 to 6 euros in supermarkets, and it's just worth it because it's the same smell. It's the same smell, you guys. It smells, well, not exactly the same. When you apply them on paper, you can still kind of differentiate between the two. Acqua di Sale, there's a lot more myrtle. The myrtle is a lot more floral. This one is a bit drier, and I think it veers towards I guess an ambergris smell, but the fragrance is more or less the same. And there are, of course, options for Acqua di Sale. There's a reminiscence, of course. So there are options. You don't need to, because again, unless you love it, unless you've been hit by this, there's really no reason to go and purchase this very, very expensive fragrance, right? That smells synthetic. It's not much, there's not much to write home about. It's just a simple fragrance. It's a simple, fresh fragrance that costs, it's very, very much overpriced. This is what I'm trying to say. This is overpriced, and it's not worth the 180 euro sum. It's just not worth it. Why did I buy it? Because I'm a collector, and because I love this fragrance, and I wanted to, I knew the second I bought it, I knew I was gonna film this video where I would bash it, because I did bash it. And I wanted to bash it not from a decant, but from, you know, the original bottle, because why not, right? Just to show you that you can definitely give an honest review while purchasing. So no buyer's remorse here. I knew what I was getting myself into. However, I will very much wear this. I'm glad I did get it, because again, in summertime, this is just, it's perfection. It's perfection to me. And another, I don't know why I'm reminded of this, because they're nothing alike. Another fragrance that's just perfect for the same idea is Etruscan Water by Francesca Bianchi, which is a lot more decently priced. Again, they're nothing the same. I couldn't even compare them even if I wanted to. But again, it's another fragrance of the sea. It's another Mediterranean fragrance. It's another beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And it's by far the better option in as far as complexity, work that's been put into it, pricing, just everything, the whole deal. Get Etruscan Water. It's so much better. However, they smell nothing alike, and if you are a fan of this, you might or you might not ending up getting it, or you might look for alternatives which you can find. So I guess this is it for Acqua di Sale. If you have any other questions. So another thing I wanted to say is, I don't know what happened, but this fragrance got into some very much hype and I guess the last 2 years. I don't know why, because this has been here forever, but I have to admit, I myself have never heard of this brand and this fragrance before the whole internet hype. So there I am, a product of internet hype. Okay, so if you want to know more about Acqua di Sale, write me in the comments. Until next time, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.